That bag will tell a story by itself, actually. The more
Yeah.
you use it, the better, especially with leather, it gets the character it gets by using it. It actually just becomes nicer, more beautiful, the more it gets worn. So that's something that's really nice. This is one of the few things that actually gets more beautiful the older it gets. It's
Yeah.
which is kind of nice, and I think that's why people appreciate leather so much as well. It's really a awesome
Yeah.
awesome to work with.
Good morning, MC. It's so great to meet you here on Zoom.
Morning, Peter. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, where are you based?
So I'm based in Khoikhoi. It's a small little town in the Karoo, so in the Eastern Cape, in South Africa, of course.
Are you? Did you grow up there?
No, I actually grew up in Johannesburg, and then I moved to my farm about 15 years ago, and then moved now to Khoikhoi about 2 years ago.
Well, so a city boy from Johannesburg going to the Karoo, and you said you have a farm there. So was it because of farming that you went down?
Yes, yeah. So always, our farm has been in the family now 193 years, and I just wanted to come farm. So that's how I went down there, and then obviously we had this huge drought now for the last 8 years, and that's how I got into the leather, and then that took over. So we moved to Khoikhoi. So now I'm between the farm and the town.
So you talk about this drought now that led you to make leather. So were you always creative, or what made you start making leather goods?
Yeah, well, let's say the droughts do funny things. It makes you think, and you need to adapt and improvise and make sure you can do something. I always loved leather, so I just thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. Let me see what I can do with it. And I went on a quick crash course, basically 2 weeks, and after that, I just started designing and making things, whatever I can think of, and it kind of just took over. And now the business is growing, so it was just extremely rewarding thing that happened, being in a drought as well. Something good came out of it, if you want to put it that way.
Mm. And so, but you say you did a quick course, but the rest you taught yourself, or how did you?
Yes, yeah. As you go along, you just learn. You make mistakes and you learn. You always learn, so you never. There's so many things I can still learn. So it's actually quite what I also like about this. So you never stop learning, and you can always improve and so on. So you just have to. I just started playing around with it a bit more and whatever, and you know what works and what doesn't work. So you get sort of in a groove and what works for you.
So, and so you do your own designs as well? What inspires you to make, or let's say, what did you start off making?
Well, on the course which was quite nice, they taught you how to design and so on. So you started then let's say the basic principle of designing and all of that. So after that, it's just whatever you can think of, and then you started with. I mean, you do your bells, your basic stuff, and so on, and then later on you think, okay, well, I kind of like this type of bag for myself or whatever, and then you just start working around that and see if it works. And other times you get people that's asking you for something, and then you try and work it out, and if you see it works and they like it, and you make more of it, and if they sell, you just keep that sort of that design and all of that sort of thing. So obviously, you follow a lot of people also in the industry, and you've got Pinterest and all of those things to also just use as references to see what's going on and what people are interested in, and then just try and put your own spin on everything.
Mm. And now, so you have the business there in Khoikhoi, and initially when you started, was it easy to get, because that's always the business part of things, was it easy to get your stuff out there? I mean, for people to buy, because Karoo is so far away from everything.
Yeah, well, that's a wonderful thing about social media and stuff. I must say that definitely open up the world of it, make it easier. Like I said, the world got smaller and business got a little bit easier in that sense. It's funny how it works, but definitely helped because I started on the farm, so miles away from from any civilization, basically, to make it quick and people to pop in. So your social media played a big role in it. Instagram and Facebook and all of that sort of stuff. That's mainly how we got it. And then word of mouth. I mean, I think people underestimate the power of that. I think that's still one of the biggest selling points is word of mouth. I mean, if people start buying your things and they like it, they're going to tell way more people than you would think, assume, or whatever. So it's really that's something that's quite important. Is that so to keep if whoever buys here, if they like it, then it's going to be good.
Yeah. Well, I must say your Instagram page is so beautiful. I mean, it's this really caught my eye. This is why I see what you're doing. So that's also very creative how that's done. So
always working on ideas. I must say that's also one of the fun parts. I guess it's kind of you can be creative on that side as well. And I think people love being like engaged in it's sort of you're selling the story and everything. So trying to think of ways of doing that is very important. So people love looking at those things. Myself as well. So if I do see brands that advertise well, I mean, then you always want to know more about it. So I think it's a really important part, but it's also fun part of the business, which is really nice. Yeah.
It's that marketing side of things.
Yes, that's extremely, that's also, and if it gets a bit busy, it's actually quite difficult to try and do everything yourself. So you kind of need people around you that's a bit better than you are, or that can take it over and then you can work with them. So it's quite a thing now.
But now tell me about your, do you have examples of your work to show me?
Yes, I do. So what I was thinking is showing you a weekend bag, it's a weekender, and then so let me start with that. If you want me to show you that one.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So I don't know if you can see it properly.
Yeah.
So this is called, we call it the Edward. It's a nice travel bag for weekends. Look, I can put about a week's clothes in there in the summer, but men are different than women. So that's why we just call it a weekender.
That's but you call it Edward.
The Edward, So every bag that I do, I was giving it names. So it started out with family names, and then when I run out, I started using friends' names. So it's just easier for me to remember because we've got quite a big range at the moment. So whatever we make, we just try and name it something like the Edward and the Diplomat and the Lacey and the Anne, and we just keep going with everything. So then I know what I'm talking. I'll know which one is what. So it's just easier. Otherwise, it's just that little lady's bag. I know which one is it.
That little lady's bag can be called Petra.
That one. There we go. You never know. That might go up. It actually happens like that quite often. With this, just want to show you. So what happens is everything is from us is handmade from start to finish. We don't use any machines. So we cut by hand, or design it cut by hand, and then we stitch also by hand, which is an important thing. Hand stitching is just much stronger and better than machine stitching. It obviously just takes a lot more time to do, but it's worth the wait, if I can say that.
Yeah, but how incredible! So there's no machines involved in that bag.
No machine. So this bag takes about 25 hours to make.
Wow.
So that's what goes into it. So just to be a little bit different, what I'm doing is I want to just show you up close. So as for the feet, we use old coins. So we mold the coins and use it as feet as well, just to make it look a bit, it's like half pennies. So it's quite nice. Just gives it a bit of a different look.
Yeah.
So it's also quite a nice addition to the bag.
Oh, that's brilliant. But just on that bag and on the inside, what do you have on the inside?
All right, the inside we line everything out with pig skin. So we do leather on leather. A lot of bags are made with it's leather outside and they use material inside. I don't do that because I've seen a lot of bags, the material rip inside, and they've got this nice leather bag, but all the material is ripped inside. I think there's guys that's using canvas that's a bit better because it's stronger. But we just do leather on leather. So we do pig skin inside and leather outside, like cowhide outside.
Amazing. But so this is a bag, you buy this bag and it just would last forever.
Yeah, no, that's for lifetime.
From generation to generation.
Yes, they say your kids will fight over it when you're dead. That sort of thing.
Absolutely, and the coins are there as well.
Yeah, so coins are there. So it just stands out and makes it a bit different. I can show you the inside if you want to see the pigskin.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
interesting. Yeah.
Let's open it.
But I'm just so fascinated because you do everything by hand. It's just, it's incredible. You don't find that so often.
No,
So
that's the thing. Everybody moves away. Obviously, the bigger you get and the busier you get, I mean, it's actually quite hard to keep up doing that. Also, it depends on where you are in the world. I guess with wages and stuff, it makes it difficult. But I'll rather employ, for us in South Africa, it's another form of employment, I guess. So you rather employ somebody to stitch than getting a machine. So you actually, you know, that side of, if you look at it, that side of things is also a good thing to do.
And employment for the people, yeah.
Yeah, so that's also quite something that helps. All right, so I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
So as you can see, that the spotted, so that's the pigskin now. So it's level on level.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, no, it's very authentic, and this handmade and coming from the Karoo. No, this is wonderful.
Yeah, actually,
I have to come and get a weekender bag.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's one of the most popular bags here, definitely. It's I'm making a bigger one. I've got a bigger travel bag as well, which is quite popular. But yeah, we sold out on those. I'm just busy making them, so I can't show you that one. Well, another thing, I started actually out with the sheep. When you asked me now with the starting as well, I started out with trying to use my sheepskin because I farm with sheep. It's a Dorper sheep. It's a South African bred sheep, and one of its best characteristics is it's a skin, and we export all the skin is just getting, and we don't get almost anything for it. So also, when I started, I wanted to use that skin to showcase it, what you can do with it. And being like when we went through this drought stuff, we started struggling to get enough skins and all of that. But so there was also something that we started, which was quite nice and different, but just got too, I don't know, it just got too much to do all these different skins, because I used, you know, in the beginning you try everything from ostrich to the cow to the sheep to like water buffalo, all of that sort of stuff. And then so now everything we just slimline it to basically it's cowhide, and then we use pigskin inside.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, because it can get a bit complicated, and I assume all the different leathers have different qualities, so that you have to take that also in consideration.
Yeah, that as well. And then also when you start, if you have a website and stuff, I mean, then it gets messy. It's like, which if you list this thing with sheepskin, it's got 9 colors, and the cowhide's got 3 colors, and it just became way too much to handle. So we just slimlined it. So everything is now cowhide and then pigskin inside.
Okay. And so what do you still have there more to show me?
Okay, so I've got a small little bag. I say small bag, it's just, we call it a gentleman. So, you know, these days all the guys using them, but they're popular. The ladies also love it. So it's the same thing. It's cowhide outside, and inside everything is lined up with pigskin. It's a nice space for your cell phone. You've got a middle compartment that's A5 notebook can fit in, or whatever you would like to put in there. And then you also have a little back pocket. It's got a sling that you can attach or not attach if you don't want to. So you can take it off or on if you want to use it or don't use it. So it's also a very popular little bag.
And what is that bag called?
This is called the Gentleman.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but like I said, a lot of ladies actually buy it as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just, when I designed it, I had actually men in mind to try and help them out with stuff. Because these days, you know, they carry a lot of stuff in their pockets. So anyway, So all of the stuff, they come in 3 colors. So this is the toffee, the big bag I showed you. The Edward, the travel bag, that's the tobacco color, and then we also do it in the dark brown color as well. So that's our main colors. We don't, like I said, it gets a bit messy if you start getting too many colors out there. So we're trying to keep it simple.
And the thing is, it's the fact that it's all handmade. I mean, it shouldn't be like exact colors. Probably, you know, it should be that there has to be a bit of a difference in color. Yeah,
well, the skin does that. I mean, no skin is exactly the same. So you always have that's what I love about the leather. Every bag, even though it's the same, will be a bit different. Like maybe the color variation a little bit off, or there's a nick mark that the cow got, caught by a wire or something like that. So there's always some sort of your bag will be your bag. You find something that's unique to it and stand out from everybody else's.
But it's like I talked to the hat maker in Australia, and we were talking about this, that the hat then almost has its own story, because it's there and and it can go on for you can pass it on to somebody, and I have this feeling these bags will do that as well. That
is true. Yeah, that's if you can set it on and somebody can inherit it and so on. It will definitely last long enough.
Yeah,
I mean, it's leather is forever.
And all the travels you go on with that bag, and that's the story of the bag.
Yeah, I mean, that bag will tell a story by itself, actually. The more you use it, the better, especially with leather, it gets the character it gets by using it. It actually just becomes nicer and more beautiful the more it's get worn. So that's something that's really nice. This is one of the few things that actually gets more beautiful the older it gets. Which is kind of nice, and I think that's why people appreciate leather so much as well. It's really awesome. Awesome to work with.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you were talking about blocks that you do?
Yes, yeah. So we venturing into a few other things. We started making butcher blocks. I can show you one. We've got it. We made it out of make it out of American oak, and it's got let me just show you.
Yeah.
So as you know, South Africans love to barbecue, and other words, other terms. But so we've got these butcher blocks that we started making. It's got a juice groove, as we call it, around the corner. So put a piece of steak there, cut it up for you or whatever. So we've got that. We've got a few cheese boards as well.
And what wood is that? What is the wood?
This is American oak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is American oak, and then cheese boards as well. Do it with American oak, and depending on the other, then I'll mix it with mahogany or whatever. And then we also started now playing around with furniture as well, believe it or not, a few chairs and so on. So I'm working on that, but that will probably only launch next year. I think it's a bit too late in the year to try and get it out there before Christmas.
So you are so creative in your and exploring. So you're doing different things as well, not just the leather.
No, yeah, but I mean the main business is always the leather side. It's just leather, I mean, there's some space to try a few things, so we definitely do it. I don't think we'll see how it grows. I mean, I've got a few bowls as well, pottery bowls that we do with leather handles and that sort of stuff.
Oh, I saw those. I
I can't believe how popular those things are. They actually, they're flying. It's really. I was just thought, let's just try this, and then it's absolutely one of the best sellers here. So it's really nice. So you never know what will work until you try it, I guess.
Yeah. And it's that definitely caught my eye when I saw you on Instagram. But now tell me about the name Slater and Dutch and the little ship there. I always love to know about the name.
Being in a crew with a ship on it,
Yeah.
But in any case, okay, so basically Slater is my mom's maiden name. And the Slaters arrived in South Africa in 1820 on the ship, the Aurora, which is the ship in my logo. Okay. And then Dutch is my father's side, so that's how I got to the name. And then so from the Slater side, that's the farming side of us as well. So that's the farm's been now in the family since 1830. So it's 193 years.
Oh, that is so interesting. Now I love that and the logo. Now it absolutely all goes together, and I love your leatherworks.
Oh, thank you so much, Victoria. We appreciate it.
But MC, tell me now, what is still a wish for you for the future?
For me, I would just say to try and keep growing. One thing, it's a funny thing. I've got a few friends. We always talk about how big do you want to go, but I don't know if I don't know if it's going to sound wrong, but I don't think you want to become this mega sort of chain store sort of thing, but I won't mind having one or two more growing in that sense, but to try and still keep the authenticity of it. So I think it's also the bigger you get, the more problems comes with it, challenges, but it's also rewarding. So I definitely would like to see us grow a bit more into the furniture and, that other avenues as well, and the leather as well, but just trying to keep it simple and don't overthink it, I guess.
Yeah. And I think I wonder if we also not now try and think differently about what we buy, and that we tend to buy more something like that, that it is a bit more unique and it's a bit more authentic, and it's not, like you say, just coming from a chain shop.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's a very fine line, because obviously the better you do, it's sort of a natural thing to just try and move in that direction.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, how do we do it by not doing it like that?
Yeah,
so I think that's where the challenge is actually coming in, because how do you keep that authenticity by growing? So I think that's the challenge that we're facing ourselves with, which is a good thing. It's a good thing to have, to think about it that way.
Well, I think you are selling pieces of art, really, because if you think of what goes into that, and how you create it, and it's really one-off pieces that you're selling. So I really admire you for it, and I really love what you do. So I wish you all the best for the future, and I'm definitely coming to Graafrenet one day to get myself one of those weekender bags.
Oh, please do. Thank you so much. I will be waiting here for you, definitely.
Yeah, and the gentleman as well. I mean,
there
the bag.
You go. Well, then we'll show you the full range. Maybe you just take some of these.
Yeah. Okay,
Perfect.
MC, thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure, Petrus. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. Thank you.
Okay, have a lovely day.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks.